Okay, the first inner fender splash shield that we're going to attempt to put on is going to be this driver's side. So we got to jack it up and take the wheel. I think I have determined that these splash shields, this particular part number, is for the driver's side, or sometimes you call it the left side. And the reason I'm putting the splash shields and stuff back on this XJ is really because the alternator is way down there on the bottom, and a lot of these XJs have issues with water hitting the alternator. So I'm going to put all the splash protection back. Now, you only want to do this if you've already got all your work done. I've already got all the front end work done. All the oil pan gasket has been done. The oil rear main seal has been done. Everything has been done on this XJ, so I can bolt all that stuff back up. The next thing we're going to try to do is get this splash shield up under here and positioned in a way where we can snap it in. All right, before I snap this up, you want to check your shock because it's going to be hard to get to after that. Bump stop's good. My end link sway bar bushings are good. I also make sure that your fender flare is, you don't need to do any maintenance on that because it would be very hard to get to it once this is on. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out any of these old fasteners that were left over. Okay, I definitely recommend getting this Pittsburgh Automotive Plastic Fastener Kit. This little 9mm piece right here fit perfect to start this process. The best way I found to pull these fasteners, this is a Harbor Freight Fastener Removal tool. You just stick it underneath there and squeeze, and it'll come right out. All right, I just put one into one of these little fasteners to hold the place. Now you've got to get these slotted things around your molding, your fender flare screws, so I gotta do that all the way around. Okay, now once you get it kind of halfway situated, you've got to fix this flap. Now I'm not sure if this flap goes under this or over this. I think it goes under. What do you think? Okay, so now that I've got this thing positioned, I'm going to show you why I like this plastic riveter. Okay, again, I found a rivet. I need to put it in this hole here. I will put it like that. I will get my device, put it over it, and then squeeze until it breaks off. And of course, don't forget this bottom one over here by the bumper. So you've got, see, this is what it looks like from underneath. I can see why people don't put these back on. Okay, I've used various types of fasteners, mainly the Pittsburgh Automotive fastener set. I did have a little problem with the rivet, so I can only use that one rivet. I've used it before, but the machine broke, and I'll show you later what happened with that. But it is installed and ready for action. Oh, and I did figure out this lip definitely goes underneath. So this definitely goes underneath the fender flare there. Okay, I've got little 10mm nuts on the back of these that hold the fender flares on, but originally I think it came with these. So I'm going to use this to hold on, to push this rubber flap to keep it from separating, because there's really nothing to keep it from separating here. All the attachments are toward the body, not toward the fender. So hopefully that'll work. All right, and here is the passenger side. Very similar, no biggies. Again, these little Harbor Freight fasteners are really cool and cheap. I definitely recommend them. Okay, to finalize this splash shield project, the good folks at Detroit Muscle Technology sent me this front splash shield. It is a remanufactured part. They don't make these anymore. Chrysler doesn't, or Jeep doesn't. So this particular company does make them. And with the alternator being so low on these 4 liters, and since I don't daily drive this, but it's almost, I do drive it 2-3 times a week. And where I live, there's lots of rain. So we want to make sure that we protect the underside as much as possible. Now, I have another video on putting my other one in, so I will put a link to that right up here, a card somewhere, so you can go see that if you want to. This is not going to be a fully how-to, but I will talk a little bit about a few things. Okay, prior to putting a splash shield, you want to make sure you've done all the suspension work that you need to do, and I have done all that, lots of new suspension. And the big thing was that I changed the oil pan gasket. You can see the new little blue Felpro, no oil leaks. And I of course changed the rear main seal at the same time. So all that is buttoned up and ready for this shield. Now this shield, I'm mainly putting on to protect this right here. See how low the alternator is? The alternator is right at the bottom of the engine, just right by the tire and the front bumper. So this thing gets soaked, and that shield will protect that. It will also keep the air from flowing down here and going across the motor. So the lower shield actually helps with engine cooling also. All right, here it is laying in. This is so simple to put in, ladies and gentlemen, for a simple protection. So that's a very good product. They even fixed the original one. Used to tear here, and what they did was they reinforced it over here where your track bar bolts up. So super easy, and really you just set it in there and push the little Christmas tree things all the way around it, and you're set. All right, folks, here it is all buttoned up. The Detroit Muscle splash shield for the Jeep XJ. It's all fits very good. It's good fit and finish. All the holes lined up perfectly, and as you can see, you still have access to the suspension components and everything right here. You've got some, looks like I may have a little leak right there, whatever that is, but looks like it's buttoned up and good to go. Hey, shout out to my friends over there at Detroit Muscle Technologies for providing that splash shield for underneath this engine bay on this XJ. I also got the other fender wells done, as you saw, so y'all have a great weekend.